My name is Barber Joe Oakman. The Barber is my professional name, and I've been known by this name for almost 60 years. I do have the distinction of being the oldest merchant on B Street now, or probably even downtown. A man by the name of Pimentel, a barber, and he lived in San Francisco for a few years, and he come to Hayward in 1864, and he opened up a barbershop on B Street. And it was I think it was a two-story building, and he was there for quite a number of years, and then he sold to a man by the name of Principe, and he was there until they tore the building down in 1927, and they put a three-story building on its site. This is on the corner of B and Mission. And when they finished the building, Mr. Pimentel went in approximately the same location. The reason I say the same location because it was they had showers in the basement, and a gentleman was coming in for I think it was 10 cents would be a bar of soap and a towel, and haircuts were 25 cents, and a shave was 15 cents. And then he stayed there until Mr. Brito, that's Joe Brito, and he bought it in, I think, 1932, and then I bought it in 1960. Several years ago, Charlie Plummer, who was just retired as a sheriff of Alameda County, was the chief of police. And he asked one of his lieutenants a question one morning, and the lieutenant says, well, I'll look it up. And the chief said, why don't you go ask the mayor of B Street? The lieutenant, well, who's that? He's Barber Joe. There isn't anything that happens on B Street that Barber Joe doesn't know about. I've had a barbershop on B Street since 1954. And I've been telling the story for almost 60 years. And people would listen to the story and they kind of, with skepticism and kind of a, is it a barbershop story, the initials of BS. and so, lo and behold, the other day there was an article come out, the flyer of Share Your Hayward Story. And the remarkable thing about it was a photograph, which confirms my story. So this is my story. I was 14 years old, and we just moved to Hayward from Colorado. That was in 1946. I got my first job, and it was at a store called Hayward Food Center. It was on the corner of A and Foothill, which is now occupied by Long's Drug Store. My job consists of carrying out groceries and sweeping the floor and etc. And the first Saturday that I worked there, my boss said, would you carry these groceries to a lady's store over on B Street? And I followed her over there, and it was Borden's Ice Cream, which had been here for a long time. And she thanked me. I went back to work, and that evening, on the way home, I was riding my bicycle. As I rode past Borden's Ice Cream, I saw a sign in the window, and it said, banana split, 29 cents. Well, I couldn't resist. But what I should have interjected here at that time was, I was only making 37.5 cents an hour, which was half of the pay of a butcher or a clerk, who were making 75 cents an hour. So that was a considerable amount to pay for the luxury of a banana split. It was worth it. So I went in there and I ordered a banana split, and she recognized me. She, how was the job and all that, and blah, blah, blah. And so when she went to serve me, she says, would you do me a favor? And I said, sure. She said, would you mind the store while I go and empty the garbage? And I said, well, I can do that. And she said, would you? And I said, sure. So I emptied her garbage, and I come back and I finished my banana split. And when I went to pay her, she says, no charge. Well, for 3 nights a week for the next 4.5 months, as long as I worked at Hayward Food Center, I had a banana split every night just for emptying out the garbage. But that is my story. Yes, my story of my youth and a little bit of history that's gone by.